Screaming Geek Me here. I am Jerry the Geek. Today's video, we are going to talk about collecting, about some do's and don'ts, some advice if you're getting into it or getting overwhelmed, different things like that. But before we get into that, if you like physical media, 4Ks, Blu-rays, DVDs, if you like home theater, movies in general, please check out my videos on my channel because I do these different types of discussions. I do reviews, collection updates, unboxings. Check that stuff out. Hit the like button, subscribe, and turn your bell notifications on. And always comment below. Let me know what you think of anything. So today we're going to talk about collecting physical media for your own collections. This is another one where I've seen other YouTubers do similar topics, discussions about this in the past. So I finally decided to, do my take on it. Normally when I do these discussion videos, I try to, I make my own notes, and I normally try to structure, have like, I go through a list of things to talk about and have a certain order. This one, all the different points to talk about, it was kind of hard to structure because so many of them tie in with each other. I mean, you talk about something, go something else, and all of a sudden you find something else. It is its own topic, but also ties in a little bit. So that was kind of hard to do. So just, I don't know, bear with me. I try to get over everything I'm, thinking of. So getting into talking about collecting physical media, all this stuff can actually, it's not limited to physical media. I mean, basically it's anything that you're into collecting, whether it's stamp, ball cards, or, toys, Funko Pops. So all these things I'm going to talk about, goes with anything that you would collect. So to start off the conversation, I would have to say, we're going to, discuss, collecting versus hoarding. So it sounds kind of extreme to say hoarding, but when you think about it, I mean, what starts out as a really fun hobby can get out of control, and you almost become a hoarder where you just buy it to buy it, and you just buy up everything, and all of a sudden you have stacks of things everywhere and there's no organization, and that can lead to stress and an anxiety, and boils down to where this could affect your mental health. From there, the first advice I would say is don't buy everything. Don't feel peer pressured into getting everything you see coming down the pike. I mean, you see other people out, if you follow other YouTubers and seeing people have thousands and thousands of movies, don't feel that you have to match them, to be in that club. Buy what you love. Decide on what you want to collect. Is there certain filmmakers? Hey, I love Steven Spielberg. I want to have everything of his. Or I like, actors. Say I like Stallone. I want to own everything that he's ever done. And then when it comes to the releases themselves, decide on if you just want to stick with standard editions or if you want to dip your toes into, special editions where you have premium packaging, steel books, boutique labels. And within the labels, sometimes they have special lines, like Paramount, they have a Paramount Presents line, and Criterion, all their stuff. A lot of times they put numbers on their spines, and some people out there want to have the entire line, no matter what the title is. They want to go back and, as a collector, sometimes we do crazy shit. That was like, I want to have every number in the series. Whether the movie's good or bad, I want to have that. I'm not that type of person. Now, there is one line that I do want to collect everyone to come out with, or so far they haven't done many. They've only done, I think, 4. And that is from MVD Rewind. They're called Laser Vision line. And it's actually, you can see here, I did a review of this. This is actually, they're paying homage to the old CED Laserdisc. They came in cartridges where you put the cartridge into your Laserdisc player and, it grabbed a hold of the actual disc flap and you pulled the cartridge back out and the disc stayed inside and played. And when you went to have it flip sides, you put the cartridge in, it released it, You pull it out, flipped it over, and repeated the process. So I never owned one. We had one through a rental one time. So, I do have my, nostalgic memories with the format. So it was cool that they actually, did this line. It actually looks like the cartridge. You can see the little knob there. You hold on to it, and it actually looks like the label. Because if you aren't familiar with that particular format, over times those labels on the cartridges wrinkled up really bad. So I'm glad they actually put that in the design, and they did that with the back as well. You can see that it looks the wrinkles there. So this one actually has number 1. This is the first one in that line they put out. And then they've also done Ghoulies 1 and 2 and Cutting Class. I've got Ghoulies and Cutting Class. I haven't picked up Ghoulies 2 yet because they're kind of expensive when they first come out. But yeah, when it comes to that type of line, that's the only one I'm kind of interested in. Other than that, I don't need to own everything within a particular line. So that's one of the things I found my limits with. Next up, we'll talk about FOMO. You might hear people talk about this. Basically, it's, FOMO stands for fear of missing out. This, ties in back with, don't feel the need to buy everything. Because when you see something, you can fear you might miss out on something. Everyone else is getting it. And again, it goes back to peer pressure. Now, on the flip side, there are times where a title can sell out and you could miss out on it. So that's where the fear of missing out really comes in. Is it's a gamble. Will it stay in stock? Will it sell out quick? So that's where you just have to play it smart. It's like, do you want to play the waiting game to maybe get a standard version later on? You just have to be really selective. Next up, we'll talk about prioritizing and curating your collection. So once you start building your collection, having a lot of movies, start making a decision on what you want to keep in that collection and what you're willing to part with. And then, the big thing is when you're trying to curate a collection, you try to get what they call a healthy balance. You need to find that balance of, not having too many, but at the same time, you're keeping some of your favorites to always have, on your shelf that you can watch at any time. Because the big thing, I want to push for is part of the curation of your collection, it should represent who you are as a collector. Do you want to be seen as someone I buy everything? I've got tons of money. I'm going in debt. I got all those shit on here and don't watch. Or do you want to be known, see your collections like, oh, wow, I got a lot of horror movies here. Oh, this person really likes horror movies. Or look at all the comedies or all the action. Or, like again, oh, well, he's a big Stallone fanatic. Look at all the Stallone movies he owns. So your collection should represent who you are. Next up, we have space. This is a big one because this is a big drawback to collecting physical media. I talked about this in my last video, talking about physical media versus streaming. The big drawback is space. You need space to store all your movies. And as your collection grows, you start wondering, it's like, man, I'm running out of space. I need more shelves. And for someone like me, I've showed in my room tour a while back that the way our living room set up, we don't have a lot of wall space. We don't have the options of putting up a lot of shelves to put my movies. So I had to look into, different options of storing my movies for, to have easy access. So the first one I'm going to talk about, I'll show you here, it's called the spinner rack. This is a great way to store a lot of movies in a small footprint. It may not look as nice of, having a big wall of movies, but, if you're limited, that's all you can do. They come in different sizes and capacities, so they're going to come in different prices. Mine I don't think mine is the biggest. Mine holds around 660 Blu-rays. DVDs a little bit less because DVDs are a little bit bigger. I think the bigger racks might hold around 800. I can't remember. But again, price-wise, they're much more expensive. I think the medium-sized ones run $250 to $300. So it's going to cost quite a bit. I've got 4 of these things completely full, and I need to get another one, maybe 2 more. I'm kind of waiting to tax time. So, and hopefully in a few months, I'll get some more so I can, store all my movies. Now, your next option, if you don't have the, room for shelving, there's storage bags. And again, I forget who it was. I saw these online. Someone was sharing, and Amazon does have these. I can't remember. One of the things I saw didn't have you, so you might have to copy and paste the description and maybe look elsewhere. But here you can see a picture of what they look like. And this helps if you want to have your collection mobile. If you want to move, if you've got a lot of movies, a lot of shelves, if you decide to want to move things around, that's a lot of work to move the shelves with the movies. Sometimes if they get really heavy, so you got to pull all the movies off the shelves, move the shelves, reorganize. This will eliminate that. And, you can keep them organized in the bag because they're clear. And then they got handles on. You can just move them around. You can stack them. So this is a nice option to look at. Now, next up, if you want to eliminate even more space, this is another option. It's protective sleeves. You can see here, this one is for the Blu-rays, which the 4Ks are the same size, and they're designed to where you can see here. You can flatten out you can see the front cover and the spine in the sleeve, and you put your movie in, put it inside there. And then this other one is for DVDs because the DVDs are a little bit bigger, so the sleeves have to accommodate that. So this is something if you really want to save a lot of space, if you don't if you don't need to have the actual cases, the physical cases, these sleeves are a really nice way to go. It's something I have thought about, but I just haven't went to that. My issue is my OCD. I like having the movies where I can see the spines, where I can browse. What do I want to watch? Where with these and the protective sleeves, I'd have to flip through them. It makes it a little harder, but it could be done. But that is an option. And another downside is, and you've got the risk of scratching the disc with the sleeves. So that's something you would have to be very careful. But if you're a physical media collector, most likely you are very careful when it comes to discs and how you handle them. Now, next up, the final one is the grand poobah, finances. When it comes to collecting, it can be very expensive. It adds up if you're buying a lot of movies. So you have to be careful, as this can lead to the stress of debt. You have to learn how to budget yourself. And if at all possible, stay away from using credit cards because that'll get you in a bind very quick. And you'll rack up those credit card debts and you'll never catch up. And I saw another YouTuber out there. She just put up a video recently talking about her credit card debts. And she was completely transparent, telling all her debts, how much she has, and is like, it'll blow your mind how bad it actually is. So my way of looking at it is, if you don't have the money for it, don't buy it. A nice thing to do is maybe audit yourself. Keep track of everything you buy, like on a spreadsheet. What you're buying. Maybe you don't have to put it on. I go my OCD. I go crazy. I put down if it's a 4K, Blu-ray, DVD, where it comes from. So at the end of each month, I tally up everything. But if you're interested in just auditing yourself, just jot down what it is and what you paid for it total, and that'll give you that paints a nice picture. At the end of the month, you can look back and say, "Damn, I spent a lot of money." And just compare month to month. It's like, can I spend a little bit more, or do I need to cut back? So auditing yourself, I think, is a very good thing. It definitely has helped me out a lot. I can see, if I've gotten carried away. So within the topic of finances, We'll start by saying look for sales. If at all possible, don't feel the need to have a brand new release the first day it comes out. Those prices will drop. Sometimes quick, sometimes, months down the road. Wait for the Black Friday deals, shop around, compare the different sellers out there before making a decision. So you want to make sure you're getting the best deal. Because say someone does have a sale, don't just automatically think that is the best deal. Look at that, look at that price and go elsewhere and say, okay, that sale is a few dollars cheaper, but is it worth it? Can I find a better deal if I wait? A great example is Kino Lorber titles and Shop Factory and some of those boutique labels. Amazon will put them on sale and you'll see them, it's like $20, $21, or sometimes $19.99, and which could be a really good deal for 4K. But, if you've ever bought from Kino before during their sales, a lot of times their sales, they'll have their 4Ks marked down to $17.99. Rarely are they more than that. So that's always in the back of my mind. If I see Amazon have it for $19.99, I go, I'll wait. I'll wait for the next Kino sale because they do several throughout the year. I'll just wait because I know I'll get it for $18. But within the same thing, when you're comparing pricing, you have to think in the back of your mind, you got to think about shipping. With Amazon, if you have Prime, you get the free shipping, or elsewhere, you might have to spend a certain amount before you get free shipping. So sometimes you might see a cheaper price somewhere, but if you're paying shipping, damn, you're better off to get it from somewhere else if you get the free. So there's a lot to consider when you're, comparing prices. So, that's the biggest thing is being a smart shopper. Be aware of what you're going to be paying for. Next tip would be is buy used. I mean, yes, there's always a chance of getting a bad disc, getting something damaged. But, I've bought quite a few used movies, DVDs, Blu-rays, even 4Ks. I bought them on, eBay, Etsy, Mercari. So I've had good luck. So far I've not bought one that did not work. So I've had really good luck. So, don't be afraid. I mean, you can save a lot of money by going the used route. Next way to save money, think about the digital codes and slip covers. Is that something you want? Do you need those? I know a lot of people go they're fanatical over slip covers. They have to have slip covers. I personally hate them. I used to throw them away, and only recently I've been holding on to them because I got a couple projects I want to do with them. So I haven't been throwing them away. But for new releases, it's not something I need. I don't have to have it. Digital codes I could care less about. So if you're okay with getting a movie without the digital code and or slip cover, look for those listings on eBay or anywhere on online sellers, because you'll come across a lot of listings where someone buys a movie, pulls the digital code out, resells the movie because they got the digital code and that service. So they're going to make money and you're going to save money. So it's a win-win for both people. So a lot of times I've bought brand new releases within like a week or so after it's got released, $30 at the store or online, and I've got them for $20 or less because someone kept the digital code or they kept the slip cover. So for me, that's worth it to save that kind of money when it all adds up in the end. So you just need to ask yourself what is important, with those releases. Do you actually need all that? So the final thing to talk about with finances, they're not using credit card, but there is a couple ways where they split up into payment plans without paying interest. PayPal, if you use PayPal a lot, you could probably get pre-approved. And if you got your accounts linked up, you can actually make a big purchase and divide it up into 4 payments. And it's all equal payments. and they'll give you a payment schedule. You'll pay the first payment right there when you order, and then after that, it's every 2 weeks. Again, there's no interest, so it's a really nice way to go. I mean, you're still paying for it, but if you're on a tight budget and say, hey, I'm kind of short this week, but I know, within the next couple of weeks I'm going to have more money. There's more money coming in. It's a nice way to go. You can split it up. You're not having all that money go out at once. There's another one called Afterpay that I signed up with, and there's a couple sites Shout Factory does, but there's a trick with Shout Factory. You can't just go on Shout Factory and choose to go with a Afterpay payment plan. It doesn't give you that option. You have to go to the You have to go to the Afterpay app first. Pull it up on your phone or your computer, and from there, hit the shop button. And from there, go to Shout Factory, and then put stuff in your cart, and then you can use that option for the payment plan. And the same thing, they don't charge you interest. They just take the whole amount, divide up into 4 payments. First one up front, and then the other 3 is every 2 weeks. I know there's some other ones out there. I think there's one called Affirm. Because of my credit history, I didn't get approved for that one. I did try for shits and giggles. Probably good, so I don't get carried away. Because as it is, I've got several that's tied up with the payment plans as it is. So I want to buy some more, but I'm waiting for these to get paid off. Then I'm going to play it smart. So yes, these payment plans are nice, but you can still get carried away. So just be smart with it. But yeah, that is an option you can look at. Because of all the different sites out there, when it comes to using payment plans, I can do Grub. I can do the PayPal payment plan. The Shout goes. I can do the Afterpay. Turbine, I can do PayPal. Vinegar Syndrome, I think, was PayPal. There was another one that was Afterpay. It might have been, I can't remember if TerraVision was Afterpay or PayPal, because I pre-ordered a movie through them and I did the payment plan, but I can't remember which one. Umbrella, you can do a payment plan with. Synapse, you can do, I think, as well. So, for me, that's what really allowed me to getting in some of these premium packages releases the last few months. Because spending $60 to $70 a pop for some of this stuff, that hurts your wallet. So if you can divide that up, that's really nice. Plus, it's made the wife a little happier, not spending so much damn money at once. Again, just be smart with it. So to wrap it up, I hope this discussion actually helped you out a little bit. If it's something, again, if you're thinking about getting into collecting physical media, or you've got into it and you've kind of went hot and heavy, and you're trying to find ways, looking for things to help you out, I'm hoping some of this would help you out a little bit. And if you're interested in this whole physical media, community, that I'm a part of, please feel free to check out the links below in the description. I've got a whole bunch of links to some of the YouTubers out there I follow. There's a lot of good content out there. If you just want to learn, see what some of the people are buying. If you want, some of them do videos about news, new releases, rumors, what's coming out, reviews. What people are collecting. So, please check those out, because it is a great community that, to get involved with, you can, watching those videos, commenting, and a lot of times, they'll reply back to you. Some of them, might have thousands and thousands of followers, so they can't always reply to everybody. So some of them don't feel bad if they don't reply to you. It's the nature of the beast when you have that, so many followers. Some of them do live streams, which is pretty cool. You can get into and you actually chat with them. They'll talk you to one-on-one. You can ask them questions during the stream. Again, that's a great way to stay connected. I highly recommend checking out, some of those links. And finally, as far as where to buy movies, there is a lot of options. I mean, a lot of people that's not into this, you know, since Best Buy dropped out, Target's dropping out, so people just think, oh, it's Amazon, Walmart. That's our only choices, or eBay. There's actually a lot out there. So I have a ton of links below, clear down there, at all kinds of retailers, the main retailers, a lot of the boutique labels, some of the third-party retailers where they handle imported. So a couple of the labels, like out of Australia, there's Imprint and Umbrella. They put I haven't bought any of theirs yet. I've heard they do some really nice stuff, but the shipping cost to get stuff from Australia is very high. So that's where your companies like Diabolic DVD, Orbit DVD, there's also a Grindhouse. They will actually import those for you and kind of absorb those costs, so you get a better deal and you don't have to worry about those shipping costs. So yeah, there's tons of places you can buy physical media online. And if you're new to it, I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there that they're very obscure titles. And when you see them come out, you're seeing them get released on physical media, you're like, what the hell? I haven't heard that in 30 or 40 years. Why in the hell would they release that on 4K? There's some of those I scratch my head. Like, why'd they put that out? One of them is one I bought from Vinegar Syndrome. It's called Killer Condom. It is very over the top, very raunchy. It's crazy, but it was a fun movie. I bought it because I had the graphic novel comic book back in the day, so I had to have it. But, they put it out in 4K, and when I was like, what in the hell? I didn't know that existed. So yeah, check these places out, because you'll learn a lot. You're gonna be blown away by what is out there. This is a big rabbit hole to go down. So that's what this video is all about, is to help you out, try to navigate some of that, keep you from getting in trouble, having those debts, getting stressed out by having too much. Because it all boils down to, this is a hobby. It should be fun. Don't feel obligated to buy stuff. Again, just pick and choose what you want. That is the most important thing, not to get bent out of shape. Your mental health is important, not to go crazy. So that pretty much does it for this video. Again, I hope this helped you out. Please comment below. Let me know what you think. Is it something that, are you new to the physical media, collecting community? Or if it's something that you've got into it and you want a little help, comment below. Let me know what you think. Check out my other videos on my channel. Like, subscribe, and turn your bell notifications on. And we'll see you soon. Geek out.